course.
But your special is almost just unrelenting. That was another thing. Like you compare the two main comedy hubs. Like everybody always talks about LA and New York, and they're always trying to compare the two. And to me, the comparison is New York is true comedy, roughing it, and LA just seems to be so, I don't know if it's a money grab or if it's just a business where they're just trying to churn out specials. But some of these specials that are coming out on Netflix now from LA, I don't even think they have jokes in them anymore. They're like a funny premise story, and then they never actually tag it up and punch it up.
I know. I mean, in a way, I don't blame these guys. I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but these guys are doing theaters. They're selling out. They're gods. And, you go see them, and the crowd will, if they scratch their ass, the crowd's like, he's scratching his ass. Holy shit, it's that guy we like is scratching his ass. This is fucking killer. And I don't have that. I have some fat lady with a camo hat with her arms crossed going, all right, prove it, bitch. I spent $8 on an iced tea. You better bring the heat. So I don't have the luxury of being a story guy, I feel like, or just taking my time and slowly setting something up and being cool. Those guys are all very cool. I don't tend to be cool, and I'm not cool, but I got to get to work here, and I got to make you laugh, and I assume everybody's bored. Everybody has a cell phone, so why the fuck would they care about me? I watched like Hannah Gadsby's special. I watched some of it. Yep. She spends like a couple minutes on a piece of thing, like a dog, a stuffed animal on her set. She's like, look at this. How cool is this? I'm like, what, are you crazy? These people are fucking in a theater. They came out of their house, and you're going to talk about this thing nobody gives a shit about? Like, bring the heat. Come on.
I know, they're killing time.
Yes, they're killing time. And I don't have enough goodwill to kill time with the audience. I got to bring it. And it's just my personality. I mean, if you listen to my podcast, we're just freaking out if we haven't said anything funny in 8 seconds.
Yeah, the Tuesdays with Stories, you guys are so similar that it's just back and forth, hilarious. Just jokes per minute.
Thanks. Yeah, again, we're so similar in our anxiety and our insecurity that we have to just blow out a machine gun of puns and one-liners and whatever the fuck we can say, because we're terrified that sometimes you look at the retention on these YouTube clips, and it'll be like an hour long, and they're like, hey, people made it 28% through. That's pretty good. I'm like, oh, that's depressing. Right. Imagine just doing that in a conversation. You just trail off, and so that's how I see it. So I'm like, man, that's a failure. I got to keep these people the whole time, and that's why, as you say, it's relentless.
Yeah, I mean, your jokes per minute are just nonstop, or laughs per minute. I hear the term thrown around every now and then. But these other comics the story comics, I'll call them, are getting laughs for the premise. And that seems to be their new formula, whereas you are actually setting things up and punching it. And it's like, it's jokes. I mean, it's a fucking comedy special. Give me some jokes. I see funny stuff outside all the time. Make it funnier.
I agree. But look, I don't want to take anything away from stories. Stories are like, an art form from back in the caveman time. Like, a story is important. The story can be amazing, but it's got to have things throughout it. It's got to have punchlines throughout it. And I just take the story thing out, and I just do the punchlines without them. So I don't know. I have to just fill it up. And the thing is, jokes are hard to write. Each one of those jokes that blew by in 8 seconds, that was a lot of time. And I just took a lot of time to make 1,000 of them, or whatever it is. I think somebody counted, I had 483 jokes in there. And that took, each one of those took months, some took a couple days, but each one of those was a bitch. And
that's awesome.
People are appreciating it. Yeah, well, there's a lot of autistic nerds out there who I appreciate.
You're the type of autistic person that just makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's me. No eye contact, sweaty, freaking out, the whole thing.